Kebaya, an elegant and enduring attire that is worn by women from all walks of life, including social backgrounds, ages, ethnicities, and religions across various communities in Southeast Asia that include Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. It represents the multicultural identity and shared history of submitting countries, as well as a symbol of women's cultural identity and empowerment. It also has strong connections to other forms of intangible cultural heritage, including festivals, social practices, and rituals. While the kebaya is an integral part of everyday life, it has evolved over time with the changing lifestyles of women across the region.
Kita melihat sejarah kebaya dari eyang-eyang kita atau nenek-nenek kita, dan ibu kita sudah mengajarkan kita berkebaya sejak kita kecil.
Pada zaman kanak-kanak dulu, saya melihat kebaya ini digunakan oleh ibu-ibu, makcik-makcik sebagai baju harian. Sehingga kini kebaya masih diminati, tidak mengira usia.
I started wearing kebaya when I was a young teenager, and I enjoy wearing it because give you the freedom of how you match the kebaya with the batik sarong.
This is the craftsmanship that is difficult to find, because one full kebaya like what I am wearing, it will take almost 1 year. Stitch by stitch, it is the real-time consumer job.
It's about time that we recognize kebaya as an iconic fashion. I suppose when you embellish something on the kebaya, it reflects your identity, your style.
Across the submitting states, the bearers and practitioners of kebaya comprise both men and women and include wearers, craftspersons, designers, and students who are involved in the crafts of designing and making the kebaya. In addition, cultural associations and non-governmental organizations are involved in promoting the making and wearing of the kebaya. Kebaya involves the traditional craft skills such as weaving, as well as sewing and embroidery techniques, all to produce traditional women's clothing and to continue providing employment opportunities and livelihoods, especially for women. Today, the knowledge, skills, and socio-cultural functions of kebaya continue to be actively practiced and transmitted by the community of bearers and practitioners through both formal networks such as schools, institutions, and associations, as well as informally between friends and family.
What motivates me to make more kebayas? I've seen many people come here with their mothers, their grandmothers, and their grandchildren. So I feel very motivated. There's a sense of connection between families. Besides teaching her what kebaya should be properly worn, I also taught her that this is a culture that we have to uphold, to safeguard it, because it is very important to transcend it to her. She is an example of the future generation, and they are the one who's going to wear the kebaya after us, and they will encourage more people to wear kebaya and appreciate our roots.
Doing embroidery is a different skill. Sewing is a different skill because there are different machineries involved. So to build up on what she has said, it doesn't require a lot, but it does require a lot of experience and love and passion and patience as well to make that good kebaya.
To the craftsmaker, it is livelihood. Livelihood is important because it has many consequences if you derive him from doing that particular skill. But a craftsman is also innovative and creative, because he dreams the kind of thing that he wants to make. He creates unconsciously, I think, beautiful things. And beauty is part of this kebaya. When you look at it, you fall in love with it.
The kebaya is worn by many diverse communities in various countries in Southeast Asia, influenced by the movement of people and cultures over time, while adapting to local traditions, lifestyles, and preferences. It reflects the characteristics of living heritage as it has continued to evolve and stay relevant.
Well, it's a reflection of who we are. It's a history that obviously we share. We must have at some stage been united or shared some common interests, or and that's why the dressing is so important. Also, it binds us together, brings us together. And now I see her in a kebaya, and I feel like, hey, I know this lady.
Can I show you my blouse? I mean, the meaning of what they put on the kebaya. For this, the crane means that they will live like one husband and one wife for all their lives. I, who has been married for 50 years, it's so meaningful for me.
Across the submitting states, Kebaya has been actively safeguarded through various measures, including transmission, research, promotion, international cooperation, and financial support.
Saat ini Timnas berusaha untuk terus menggerakkan dan menghimbau untuk perempuan-perempuan Indonesia membentuk komunitas-komunitas kebaya di daerahnya masing-masing. Nah, ini dengan adanya banyak perkumpulan, otomatis itu akan menjadi influencer masyarakat di sekitarnya. Setiap kali kita mengadakan kegiatan yang namanya Parade Kebaya Nusantara, dan kita sudah keliling di berbagai provinsi, dan animonya antusias sekali ibu-ibu di daerah.
As a kebaya maker and an educator, I really hope that my knowledge can be passed down on whether the history on the kebaya and how it progressed, or how the making of the embroideries could be passed down to the students. Because these students, they will be the new beacon of light where they learn this knowledge, and we hope that they can try to use this knowledge in proper use in making kebayas in the future.
Each submitting state reached out to their respective communities during the preparation for the multinational nomination. Online meetings and in-person discussions were also held to coordinate across the 5 submitting states. As part of joint safeguarding efforts, workshops were held for practitioners, communities, cultural experts, and government officials to come together and share their experience, contribute to the drafting of the nomination form, and develop proposed safeguarding measures. The participants also agreed to set up a network called Kebaya Kita to maintain communications and carry out programs such as research efforts and educational campaigns so as to raise awareness and participation in Kebaya in the submitting states and across the region.
We sincerely hope Malaysia and our neighbouring country, we sincerely hope that it will be listed, because Kebaya is our cultural heritage. It transcends all races and all religion and all creed and all ethnicity. So it's really something that I can be proud of, or we should be proud of. And it empowers us, especially the women, to be able to wear a cultural attire, garment, and be proud of it, and to say that this is our heritage.
Karena safeguarding kebaya artinya lebih ke safeguarding culture, tradisi ke generasi yang akan datang. Itulah semangat dari UNESCO tentunya. Jadi pengertian safeguarding ini yang kita coba untuk mengedukasi teman-teman komunitas kebaya Indonesia bahwa kebaya itu bukan hak dari masing-masing negara. Artinya mari kita lestarikan kebaya sebagai simbol alkulturasi budaya.
I see people meeting and communicating, creating greater awareness among themselves, as well as creating an outlook and outreach for the other parts of the world.
Through this multinational nomination, the submitting states affirmed their commitment to safeguard Kebaya for generations to come.
I support the multinational nomination of the Kebaya because by working together, we can learn from and inspire one another to find new ways to raise awareness of the Kebaya and ensure that the Kebaya will be passed down to future generations.
I support the multinational nomination of Kebaya because we want to work together to ensure that the Kebaya is handed down to future generations. And Kebaya is an integral part of our cultural identity and way of life.
Saya menyokong elemen kebaya untuk disenaraikan di bawah Konvensyen UNESCO 2003.
I support the multinational nomination of Kebaya because by working together, we can inspire the next generations of Kebaya makers and wearers.
I support the multinational nomination of Kebaya because it is important part of a shared culture heritage between the countries.